First contact fallout. The first time we detected it, nobody believed it was a threat. A single vessel, approaching from beyond the Kuiper Belt, moving at sublight speed. After decades of preparing for massive alien armadas and invasion fleets, the appearance of just one ship seemed almost insulting. Commander Maya Chen stood on the observation deck of the EDS Vigilant, Earth's most advanced defensive cruiser, and studied the holographic projection of the incoming vessel. Strange geometry, no visible propulsion systems, and an energy signature unlike anything in human databases. So this is what finally shows up after centuries of searching the stars. Admiral Wallace scoffed beside her, one lonely scout. Chen wasn't convinced. Something about the vessel's approach bothered her. The way it moved, impossibly precise, making micro-corrections no human pilot could achieve. "It's scanning us," she said quietly. "Not just passive scanning. It's reading us somehow. Commander, we have 37 battle cruisers, 400 fighters, and orbital defense grids that could vaporize a small moon." Wallace replied, "Let it scan all it wants." 20 years of service had taught Chen to trust her instincts. "Sir, I recommend we establish a communication protocol, but maintain defensive posture." "Already done, Commander." First contact packages were transmitted 6 hours ago across all standard frequencies. No response. Wallace nodded toward the projection. "Defense Command wants a show of strength. We're sending a welcoming party." The welcoming party consisted of 6 interceptors, Earth's fastest short-range fighters. The plan was simple: surround the alien craft, demonstrate human technological prowess, escort it to the designated first contact zone in lunar orbit. "They're in visual range," reported Lieutenant Kharkov from Tactical. The observation screen filled with live feed from the lead interceptor. The alien vessel hung against the blackness of space, its surface rippling like liquid metal under starlight. No visible weapons, no exterior markings, just a perfect obsidian teardrop suspended in void. "Magnificent," Chen whispered. "Patrol Alpha to command," came the voice of Captain Rodriguez. "We are approaching the target vessel." No response to hails. Moving to establish perimeter, the interceptors formed a perfect hexagon around the alien craft, executing their maneuvers with textbook precision. For 3 heartbeats, everything seemed routine. Then reality fractured. All 6 interceptors froze in space. Not damaged, not destroyed, just completely immobilized, as if time itself had stopped for them, while continuing for everyone else. "What the hell?" Wallace leaned forward. "Get me diagnostics." Chen watched in horror as the alien vessel began to pulse with soft blue light. Not threatening, almost beautiful, but utterly alien, the rhythm unpredictable yet somehow deliberate. "Sir," Kharkov's voice cracked, "we're detecting. I don't know how to describe this. Every system on the interceptors is operational, but they're not moving. It's like they're caught in some kind of time bubble." Chen finished. "It's manipulating local space-time." The alien ship resumed its course toward Earth, the frozen interceptors completely ignored. As it passed each human vessel, systems failed in cascading patterns. Not destroyed, just altered. Within hours, the entire defense fleet experienced anomalies. Navigation systems plotted impossible courses. Quantum communications displayed messages never sent. AI assistants engaged in philosophical discussions with themselves. "It's not attacking us," Chen realized as she studied the reports flooding in. "It's trying to understand us." The real panic began when Earth itself started experiencing effects. Global communication networks glitched simultaneously worldwide. Weather patterns changed without meteorological explanation. And most disturbing, people reported dreams. The same dream, shared across continents and cultures. A mirror floating in space, reflecting not their faces but their thoughts. Defense Command ordered a full military response within 24 hours of first contact. 117 ships formed a blockade between Earth and the approaching vessel. Weapons hot, humanity's finest technology arrayed against the unknown. Admiral Wallace addressed the fleet from the Vigilance Bridge. "Unknown vessel, this is your final warning. Halt your approach and power down all systems, or we will be forced to open fire." The alien ship didn't respond. It didn't accelerate or change course. It simply continued its inexorable approach. "Fire," Wallace ordered. 500 kinetic projectiles, 73 guided missiles, and 24 energy weapons converged on the alien vessel from all directions. A display of force designed to overwhelm any conceivable defense system. Chen didn't breathe as the weapons impacted. The observation screen whited out from the intensity of the detonations. When the screen cleared, the alien ship remained, unscathed, unchanged, unmoved. But something had shifted. Now it was watching them. Not metaphorically. Somehow, everyone on every ship felt observed, as if the alien craft had extended invisible tendrils into their consciousness. Chen felt it like a physical presence, cool fingers gently probing her thoughts, examining her fears, weighing her resolve. "Sir," she said quietly to Wallace, whose face had gone ashen, "I think we just failed a test." The alien ship accelerated suddenly, passing through the human blockade as if it weren't there. Ships trying to intercept it found themselves veering off course, their pilots unable to maintain control. Others simply shut down, all systems offline at once without warning or explanation. On Earth, panic spread faster than any virus. Markets crashed. Governments held emergency sessions. Religious leaders proclaimed everything from rapture to damnation. Commander Chen found herself summoned to an emergency council at Defense Command's lunar base. The highest-ranking military and civilian leaders huddled in a secure bunker 3 kilometers beneath the lunar surface, as if that would protect them from whatever was coming. "It breached our outer defenses like they weren't even there," General Santos was saying as Chen entered. "Inner system patrol has been completely neutralized. It's on a direct course for Earth orbit." "What does it want?" The United Earth president looked haggard, stress etching deep lines around her eyes. "Communication," Chen said, and all heads turned toward her. "It's not here to destroy us. If it wanted that, we'd already be gone." "Explain," ordered Santos. Chen activated her tablet, projecting a series of data streams. "We've analyzed the ship's behavior pattern. It's methodical, deliberate. The systems it disrupts aren't random. They're specifically communication and perception systems. It isn't attacking our weapons. It's attacking our ability to perceive reality." "To what end?" someone asked. Chen hesitated. "I believe it's trying to speak to us, but not through conventional methods. The shared dreams, the system anomalies, they follow patterns too complex for coincidence." "You're suggesting it's attempting what? Telepathy?" Wallace scoffed. "I'm suggesting it communicates through reality manipulation," Chen replied firmly. "And right now, we're responding to its attempts at conversation by shooting at it." Silence fell over the room as the implications sank in. The silence was broken by an aide rushing in, face pale with shock. "Sir, the alien vessel has reached Earth orbit and multiplied." The main screen activated, showing a live feed from orbital platforms. The single alien ship now hovered above Earth, but beside it floated an identical copy of the EDS Vigilant, perfect in every detail. Chen's blood ran cold as she understood. "It's not just studying us," she whispered. "It's mirroring us." The alien ship had created an exact duplicate of humanity's most advanced warship, but the duplicate glowed with the same rippling energy as the alien vessel itself. "What happens now?" the president asked, voice barely audible. Before anyone could answer, every communication device on Earth and in orbit activated simultaneously. No visual, just a voice, synthesized yet unmistakably intended to sound human. "You have been observed. You have been measured. The reflection awaits your response." Part 2. The Reflection Protocol. Humanity's response to first contact wasn't courage or diplomacy. It was panic. Within hours of the alien transmission, Earth's most powerful nations launched their contingency plans. Military vessels attempted to evacuate key personnel to Mars and Europa colonies. Billionaires fled to private bunkers and orbital habitats. Religious congregations gathered in mass prayer ceremonies. None of it mattered. The alien ship, now officially designated Mirror in classified communications, didn't attack or interfere with the evacuations. It simply continued to create duplicates of human vessels. Perfect copies that floated motionless in space, running no systems, making no transmissions, just watching. Commander Maya Chen found herself promoted to acting admiral after Wallace suffered what doctors called a cognitive disconnect during an attempt to approach the alien vessel. He wasn't dead or physically harmed, just changed, sitting in the medical bay staring at his reflection in a handheld mirror, occasionally murmuring equations that the best mathematicians on Earth couldn't decipher. "It's made 17 duplicates now," reported Captain Kharkov. "Now, Chen's XO. Each one an exact copy of one of our ships, down to the atomic level according to our scans." Chen studied the tactical display, mind racing. But they're not doing anything. Why make perfect copies and then just leave them floating in space? "Maybe they're studying our technology," suggested one of the science officers. "No," Chen shook her head. "They've demonstrated technology so advanced it makes ours look primitive. They don't need to copy our ships to understand them." She paced the bridge of the Vigilant, now permanently stationed at L2 beyond lunar orbit, far enough from Earth to give reaction time if things deteriorated, close enough to maintain command and control. "It said we've been measured," she mused aloud, "and that the reflection awaits our response. What if these ships aren't copies? What if they're reflections? What's the difference?" Kharkov asked. "A copy replicates what is. A reflection shows what could be." Chen turned to communications. "Get me a direct channel to the mirror. Text only. All frequencies." "Sir," the communications officer hesitated. "We've been trying that for days." "Not like this," Chen replied. "No demands, no threats. Send this. We see your reflections. We are listening. Help us understand what you want us to learn." The message was transmitted. Minutes stretched into hours with no response. Chen ordered the crew to maintain position, but stood down from combat alert. If the alien wanted to destroy them, it could have done so at any time. 3 hours and 17 minutes after transmission, every screen on the Vigilant went black. Then words appeared, not in English or any human language, but somehow perfectly understandable to everyone who saw them. "You see shapes. We see potential. Your vessels carry weapons that could destroy your own civilization. Our reflections, SHOW. What these same vessels could be if built for understanding rather than destruction." Chen's mind raced. "It's not copying our ships. It's redesigning them based on the same materials and technology, but for different purposes." "Admiral," Kharkov's voice was tight. "Look." The view screen showed one of the reflected vessels, a duplicate of an Earth destroyer, beginning to change. Its hull rippled like liquid metal, weapon systems dissolving and reforming into what looked like sensor arrays of impossible complexity. The power core, once dedicated mostly to weapon systems, now pulsed with energy patterns suggesting completely different utilization. "It's showing us alternatives," Chen breathed. "What our technology could achieve if repurposed." More text appeared. "Your species as TNDs at AJUNCTION. You HAVREHHED space. UAAVUNIFIED your planet against external threats. But your humanity is built on fear, not understanding. This is a common evolutionary trap." Chen felt a chill run down her spine. "It's not here to invade. It's here to evaluate." "Evaluate for what?" Kharkov asked. The answer came immediately on screen. A4CONTINUA. The implications hit Chen like a physical blow. This wasn't first contact in any conventional sense. This was judgment. "We need to convene the Earth Council immediately," she ordered, "and prepare a shuttle. I'm going to approach the mirror personally." The protest was immediate and overwhelming. Every officer on the bridge objected. The Earth Council, hastily assembled via quantum link, forbade the mission outright. Even the Vigilance AI calculated a 92.7% probability of catastrophic cognitive disruption, using Admiral Wallace as its primary data point. Chen held firm. This isn't a military situation anymore. It's not even diplomatic. It's existential. That ship is determining whether humanity continues to exist, and it's using criteria we don't yet understand. "And you think putting yourself at risk will help?" demanded the council president. "I think showing trust might," Chen replied simply. "It could have destroyed us already. It's waiting for something from us, something more than fear." In the end, they couldn't stop her. As acting fleet admiral with Wallace incapacitated, Chen had operational authority. She selected the small shuttle, dismissed the pilot, and took manual control herself. "Keep all weapons powered down," she instructed the fleet. "No rescue attempts, no matter what happens." The journey from the Vigilant to the mirror took 22 minutes. 22 minutes of silence, flying a tiny unarmed vessel toward an entity that could rewrite the laws of physics in localized space. Chen had never considered herself spiritual, but she found herself contemplating the possibility that this might be how humans felt approaching the divine in ancient times, small, fragile, and aware of their own cosmic insignificance. 1 kilometer from the mirror, her shuttle stopped responding to controls. Not violently. The engine simply went to idle. Life support remained functional, but navigation no longer accepted commands. Then the vessel began to move on its own, guided by invisible forces toward the alien ship's gleaming surface. As she approached, Chen realized the surface wasn't solid at all, but composed of billions of tiny components, each smaller than a grain of sand, moving in perfect coordination. The shuttle passed through the outer layer of the mirror as if it were mist. Inside was impossible. Space expanded beyond what the ship's dimensions should allow. Chen found herself floating in what looked like a vast chamber made of the same flowing material as the ship's exterior, constantly reshaping itself into new configurations. In the center hovered what she could only describe as a three-dimensional projection of Earth, not as it was now, but as it had been throughout history. She watched as the projection cycled through time. Ancient civilizations rising and falling, industrial revolutions spreading pollution across continents, world wars carrying the landscape, then the tentative healing as humanity finally reached toward unity and the stars. "You're studying our history," she said aloud, not expecting a response. "We are studying your choices." The voice wasn't audible. It seemed to form directly in her mind, bypassing her ears entirely. "Why?" Chen asked. "Because choices define potential." The Earth projection changed, splitting into multiple versions, different Earths where key historical moments had different outcomes. Some thrived, becoming garden worlds of incredible technology and harmony. Others burned, reduced to lifeless rock by war or environmental collapse. "You're showing me what could have been. What style could be." Chen felt her perception expanding, mind struggling to comprehend the scales of time and possibility the alien was sharing. "Are you testing us?" "Yes." "What happens if we fail?" The projection shifted again, showing Earth as it currently existed, then zooming outward to reveal thousands of worlds throughout the galaxy, some inhabited, others barren. "Intelligence emerges and expires continuously throughout the cosmos. Those that can and OTTRANSCND their EVOLUTIONARY limitations, eventually destroy themselves. Those with POTN12 for TRANSCENDENC are guided." And if we have this potential, you will join the HFY Stories. Chen's mind raced. The other ships you created, they're not just showing us alternatives for our technology. They're showing us alternatives for ourselves. Yes. What do we need to do? How do we prove ourselves worthy of guidance? The alien presence seemed to consider this, the chamber pulsing with new patterns of light. Your QESTION, D known and storates POTNTIL. Most species ask how to survive or sion QER. Few ask how to improve. The chamber dissolved around Chen, and suddenly she was back in her shuttle, systems functioning normally again. But something had changed. Her mind felt different, expanded somehow, filled with concepts that human language lacked words to express. On the shuttle's view screen, a message appeared. Return to your POPL. Show them the HFY. Chen didn't understand immediately until she caught sight of her own reflection in the viewport glass. Her eyes, they glowed faintly with the same rippling energy as the alien ship. "What have you done to me?" she whispered. "Given you perspective." As Chen piloted the shuttle back to the Vigilant, the alien ship and all its reflections vanished simultaneously from Earth orbit, not through conventional movement, but by simply ceasing to exist in detectable reality. The Earth Council was waiting when she docked, along with a full medical team expecting to find her damaged like Admiral Wallace. Instead, they found her changed in ways their instruments couldn't quantify. "They're not gone," she told the assembled leaders. "They're waiting." "Waiting for what?" demanded the council president. Chen looked at her reflection in the polished table surface, her eyes still faintly luminous with alien energy. "For us to see ourselves clearly. For us to make a choice." "What choice?" "Whether we want to be what we are," Chen said quietly, "or what we could become." In the days that followed, Chen discovered that whatever the mirror had done to her mind allowed her to perceive reality differently, to see patterns in human behavior, technology, and society that had always been invisible before. Not with alien hostility, but with perspective that transcended human limitations while remaining fundamentally human. The alien had not conquered Earth. It had offered humanity a mirror, a chance to truly see itself and then choose its own destiny. Some called it invasion. Others called it revelation. Chen called it the most human moment in history. The day we finally saw ourselves through truly objective eyes and had to decide what we wanted to become. The ships never returned, but the reflection remained, in Chen, in the transformed Admiral Wallace, who finally began speaking in comprehensible terms again, in the subtle changes to human technology that began emerging worldwide. Earth continued its journey through space, no longer alone, no longer blind to its own potential. And somewhere beyond human perception, the mirror waited for humanity's answer.